Welcome back to Skate. I'm Insetic, with me again is Blank Tester,
Hey kids, how's it going?
Matt Rocks 101,
Hey, Matt.
and Turo.
I have no faith in medicine.
Oh,
Wow.
so we're gonna be leaving the skate park. You know, Shingo. Fucking Shingo.
Fucking
I wrecked
Shingo.
him in Skate last episode.
Yeah, you.
He's
own-zoned
he's
that
predisposed to crash way often in that, but actually, like, my very first time playing, he kept landing the tricks.
Man.
So
Yeah.
the skate went like twice as long as what you saw. But
The
I
skate
still
is bullshit in
I
this
still
game.
got up and kicked his ass. Okay, so yeah, Shingo knows a photographer's down at the school, so we need to follow him. We need to leave the skate park and start exploring the world.
Dude, this follow missions and the skate missions are bullshit in this game. They suck. There's no way around it. They are
No one
miserable.
likes the follow missions or the skate missions, and it's a very good thing that the skate missions are optional. Also,
Nice.
Yeah, so the fact that you can't get off your board in the first game. I know you said, like, oh, the designers tried to shut out any inspiration from any
I don't
other
even
series.
necessarily think that's why. I think it was just a, I don't know if technical limitation or I think it was a time limitation because it was the first thing added to Skate 2. I think they just didn't get it done in time.
yeah, that's like the very first feature
Yeah,
they
actually,
show off in Skate 2.
that is that. I mean, it seems like such a simple thing, like because we're thinking about it intuitively, but like realistically, it would be a big feature to add.
Because I mean, they had
A lot
this is an
from-
engine
yeah.
that they had to do from scratch. This is a game they had to build
Yeah.
from scratch. They didn't just get the feature done in time.
Yeah, so just things like you will just sometimes get stuck in places where your guy doesn't want to fully turn around, but pushing,
Shingo,
manually
you
like you
bum.
have to won't fully get you out of running into the wall, and then you
Yeah.
just feel like a schmuck and the guy gets too far away.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why these missions suck, and I hate them.
I mean, they're not the worst, but, like, this isn't like the previous series where, again, I played them a lot as a kid, and also,
Nice.
Shingo, stop running into the
Shingo,
fucking...
what the fuck?
Yeah, the AI just
Shingo,
like bugs
you
out and
asshole.
like
There are
bumps
way
into
too many
shit.
NPCs.
That
in
lady
game
is
as well.
dead.
Yeah, no, you can kill old ladies in this game. It's pretty.
I gotta
wild.
say, the game, like art style, love it. I think it looks great. Like it has really, really held up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like visually,
Something
it's
about
a
that
very
early-
appealing game.
Early 7th gen EA and EA Sports games look really good. Like if you compare like the character models from like NHL 08 to NHL 14, they visually like significantly downgraded.
Yeah.
Probably
I was gonna say,
because
I don't
of
think
physics
Skate 3
engines,
actually
but-
looks as good as this one does in some
Yeah,
ways.
no, straight up, I think this is the best looking skate game.
And
What
you
I
can
think
tell because it has the
actually-
worst frame rate.
Yeah, it's
Because they
pushing
cut
the
all
limits.
Yeah, they cut all the graphics in the other ones to have a smoother frame rate, so
I
that's
like
why
how
this one looks the
Shingo
best.
tried to grind a bench, ate shit, then asked if you were still following him.
Shingo ate shit 3 times.
They do that, yeah.
Made you eat shit once.
And he tripped you. Did he trip you twice?
No,
He
just
almost
once.
tripped you twice. Yeah.
Hey dude, I'm Seb. I shoot for the skateboard mag.
Hey, Seb.
Think you can do better than these
Bob,
This
do you have
cloud?
something
Yeah,
to
I can
say?
do more than this cloud.
Nothing.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think part of why this game looks good and why this generation of games, like this part of this generation looks so good, was that like the modeling was still sort of stylized for the limitations of the previous gen, early in the 7th gen lifecycle, but the lighting was all like cutting edge tech. So like the shadows are all dynamic, and like the rim lighting around objects looks really nice, and like that stuff on top of the stylization and like the limited polygons of like an earlier generation's modeling, I think really looks nice together. It's like it's got a nice crisp look to it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Bolts.
And hey, look at that, Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. When the skater is skating, they don't also have to take the pictures.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild, isn't it?
It turns out there are some things Skate got completely right.
But I love how all the angles are still awful, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to mention, there are, again, some things that the tutorial just doesn't teach you. Like, you see how often I end up writing, Goofy stance, which it's almost like, Jesus, game, if you wanted me to be goofy, just lock me into that, because,
It's
seriously,
funny.
it doesn't want me
There
to
is
be
something
regular.
behind that.
And until I asked Turo if there was any way to quickly just change my stance, I thought I had to, jump into a 180. Like, the game doesn't tell you, you could just rotate the left stick to revert. And also,
Oh,
the
okay.
game doesn't tell you. You could just hold down B, or I guess, what would it be, circle on PS3?
Circle, yeah.
To, like, put your foot down on the ground and slow yourself that way. So I thought the only way you could slow yourself was by, like, holding down and doing some power slide shit. Like, there are a bunch of tiny things that are actually really helpful that the game doesn't tell you, or at
Did
least
you know you
doesn't
can
tell
slow yourself down
I
by
do
doing
wanna
a
say,
manual
really
and then
quickly-
going all the way back?
Yeah, I was talking over Matt explaining what I was going to say, but yeah, the game tells you in a loading tip as your pause that there's 4 ways to slow down, and they phrase it as if it's like this revolutionary thing, and that being drag your foot by pressing B, hold a manual and drag your tail until you stop, which takes like 10 seconds if you're going to speed,
It's funny.
power slide, or just fall.
I know.
It
just
tells you
fall.
either power slide, brake, manual and drag, or slam. That's what the loading screen says. It also doesn't tell you how to do any of those.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fuck off, game. But yeah, so you're gonna see here, like, when things start get going, where sometimes I just can't get something really going. You know, sometimes I just can't get good tricks into good opportunities, and then the next time I get, you know, locked on a rail, I could just rail, flip, rail, and get it really quickly. So like, it is just inconsistent. You know.
Yeah.
Again, maybe that'll change as it goes along, but I'm not going to be absolutely destroying the challenges or doing insane things like, you know, when I played Tony Hawk Series or SSX.
Yeah. At least this doesn't have killing challenges yet.
Killing challenges?
Yeah, the second
killing
tier
it.
of completion
That's in the second
of
game.
challenge. In the second game, they add it for the own the spot only.
Oh my god, I have to become a murderer?
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to murder these
Yeah.
concepts.
Is that
of
what
a
Shingo was
skateboard
doing
spot.
to that lady?
Yeah.
No,
Just kill
it's,
Oh my God.
you murder the concept of a spot.
Shingo looks like he was skating bad, but then he actually went back to his black market guy. He got paid like $5,000.
You know
Yeah,
what?
he got
wild.
so
I
many
gotta
board
say,
sales from it.
Hitman.
Hey, yeah. Hate the game, dude.
Doing single tricks are sick, but I think you're gonna want to show people you can skate. Do a line real quick. It should be fun. Lines in skateboarding is all about consecutive tricks, without spending too much time cruising from trick to trick. Sketchy landings and sloppy tricks, that's just gonna cut your line time short. Try to keep them as clean as possible. That's all you really need to know about lines, so just make sure you mix up your tricks, keep it creative and flowing.
Keep it creative and flowing.
Hey, you know, skating's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, in the second game, you're going to want to kill him, so
Oh.
we'll get to that when we get
Yeah,
there.
don't give me too many spoilers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like suddenly my brain was taken out and put in, and someone put a brain in that couldn't get a line started at all, and I had to like restart and then actually get something going.
Damn. That looked pretty cool. Yeah.
Did look pretty cool.
Yeah, no, see, that's the thing. The game does succeed at, like, when all your inputs line up, just doing, like, a varial flip into a nose grind and flipping out, just that one little trick, but that one so important trick to an actual skateboarding clip feels cool to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ending a line with a banger.
Yeah, or really just having it all line up for one really cool thing. Like, they did get, yeah, that it's, you know, real to life enough while still being arcadey enough to have all the, you know, video game mechanics and such to wear, well, what I just mentioned. So I'm
Yeah.
going through the trick book to kind of show, you know, how does a simple trick lead to a harder trick based on the controls. And again, I like to imagine the right stick as kind of like a clock. So you're seeing for these, you know, medium difficulty flip tricks, you're starting at like 7 or 5, going to 6, then going to 11 or 1. For these most advanced, it's like 8 to 6 to 10 or 11 or so.
Nollie
Yeah.
inward heel flips are the easiest trick to accidentally do when you're trying to nollie anything else.
And they're also really hard to do intentionally.
yeah, and they're also worth the most points, so like I would be trying to do like, I don't know, any other trick with
Yeah.
nollie, and I just keep doing nollie inward heel 360 inward heel flips
And then when
rack
you
up,
try
like,
to do a
7
nollie
trillion
inward heel,
points.
you do a nollie 360 inward heel
Oh,
because
360 hard flips are also really easy to accidentally do if you're trying to do a 360 flip or a laser flip. You can end up doing
because
those a
the
lot.
movements to do them are so
They're
precise.
really similar, yeah.
And I do like how when you're just on flat ground and you input any of them, like your character will jump high enough to do them. You know, you don't need to worry about again on flat ground. If you input like the 360 flip, your character will do the 360 flip. Now, if there's anything you're trying to jump over, that's where you need to care about like lining up far enough in advance to get a high enough ollie. But
There
yeah,
are late
just
flips in
riding
this
around
game?
on flat ground, yes, there are late flips.
I did not know that was in
He
the
just
first
did
game.
one in that line.
I know he did
a
one, that's
late
why I was
shove-it.
surprised. I didn't know they were in this game.
Late shove-its are the easiest, kind of in the same way that shove-its are the easiest. Just like hold back 6, go up to 12, and then just rotate over to 9 or 3. You know.
Oh.
Hey man, what's going on? Let's see how much board control you have. You know how to grind, you know how to do tricks, so why don't you put the two together and see what kind of technical skating you come out with. You can do any flip trick you want into a grind, but just make sure you time it so you land on the rail. To flip out of a grind, you just use the right stick. You can do all sorts of grinds and slides, you just have to make sure you adjust your board in the air with the right stick. You can always check your backpack for a variety of different grinds, but for now, let's find a rail, flip in, grind it, and flip out.
He had already done the Great Wall Gap.
Yeah, Danny Wade already done the Great Wall Jump, and Mark Gonzalez was a certified classic at this rate.
Can I say something real quick? I'm still looking at this game's aesthetic, and like, I realize now what I like about the aesthetic so much. It was it Proving Ground, Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, where they had like that sort of like sketchbook aesthetic?
That was American Wasteland.
American
that was the
Wasteland?
one none of us liked.
Yeah, I think American Wasteland, part of what I didn't like about the aesthetic there was that they way overdid it. Right? Like, there's so much going on screen all the fucking time. And this game is like a much more subtle approach to a very similar sort of style. Where it's like, here, we've got like what, the little looks like a coffee stain in the bottom left corner, and then like a little shadow in the other corners. And that's basically it as far as trying to capture that sort of grimy, dirty aesthetic or whatever. And then like when you go to the pause menu, everything's there, but it's not like covered in doodles like, whoa, unicorns and rainbows,
Also,
dude.
I bet you're
like,
thinking of SSX on tour as well.
on
which
tour
was
as well.
Even
So,
worse about it.
Like, that's the thing, like, they wanted to capture the aesthetic, and instead they just way overdid it, and it looks horrible. And I think this game really did a good job, like, striking a nice balance between, you can see that, you get that sort of attitude, without it being, like, so in your face that you're annoyed by it.
Did those two NPCs interact with each other? Could they do that in this game?
I think they were
talk
just...
to each other.
I
They just
don't know.
said words. I didn't
And
know
I'll
they could do
also
that.
say, like, sometimes the colors seem washed out, you know, which was just sort of the thing around that time, but
I got
we
bad
look
news
back
for
at,
you.
like, Proving Ground again, where it was constantly overcast. But sometimes the colors are not, and actually the colors do change based on where you are in the world. So, like, I'm up in the suburbs, it looks, you know, kind of medium here. I'll go down to, what, like, the Res and Old Town, and it will get less saturated. Then I'll go to downtown, and it will intentionally be more saturated.
But it's also sort of like bluer lighting. Than
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
blue
suburbs.
so,
downtown.
like, actually the world design
very nice.
influences kind of the colors.
Yeah, the res is orange. This place is like got usually pretty green lighting.
And also,
You're
yeah,
lots of greens.
when you get up to, like, when you get a sick line and you get the maximum, like, 3x on your combo, suddenly the colors do saturate a lot, which
And
is
it
kind of
looks
weird,
super
and I
cool.
can't hit that often enough to really do it.
Also, your
but it's
game will
cool.
slow down if you do a long grind or whatever that beats your previous longest grind. The game's
Yeah, if you
like,
do
I thought the
something that-
frames were dropping. No, that's on purpose.
Yeah, no, it'll like change the colors a little bit, and if you're doing something that is breaking the record of, say, your longest line or your highest drop, which in that case the effect doesn't last long because you've already done the drop, and now you've moved on in your life. It is in the past.
Uh-oh, he
Moved
fell
on
into
in
the
your
pit. He's
life.
not going to get out of
Like,
this.
that'll
He's gonna be
happen a
trapped here
bunch
forever.
early on, but then will stop happening. And
Oh,
also,
thank God.
yeah, this does feel like one of the things in the game where it was accidentally, like, set up for you to fail. You know, if you don't want to teleport back to the skate park, you can ride up, and the entrance that it'll guide you to is this, like, back entrance that's
Yeah, if you go-
really
oh, he
fucking
fell
hard
in.
to navigate.
He
Like,
will
this
never
was
leave now.
not
If you
good
set your
level
marker
design.
in there, don't do it.
No, I set my marker because otherwise it would respawn me at the bottom of the stairs. So, like, yeah,
well, sometimes
I
that's
could
better
have
than
gone
being
back
trapped in this
around.
hell zone.
And now you're stuck listening to Airborne.
He's never gonna be able to leave now. He fell for the
Y'all are
cloud
laughing.
blunder.
Y'all are laughing. I wasn't laughing.
Yeah.
No, I remember when I came. If we're gonna
there
talk
you go.
about when you were
That guy fell just existing.
when you were, if we're gonna
Fabio.
talk about whenever you were new to this game, this thing right
Yeah,
here, I
no.
got trapped in here.
This is
Oh
this,
my God.
This is showing up at Firelink and going over to the graveyard first.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
he got out really fast. It took me like forever to leave this place.
I mean, he's an engineer. He's thinking momentum. He's thinking math and science. That's
I mean,
how
granted,
got
I
through
was
that.
12, but like I got stuck there for a while trying to leave that fucking place. I think that's why if you bail in there, it spawns you outside. It knows. It fucking knows.
Yeah, and the pumping tutorial doesn't even show up until after this mission, so...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I forgot if there even was a tutorial for it.
There is.
But this game does try to quote-unquote realistically have pumping mechanics in it, and they do simulate bowl skating better than Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, for
Yeah,
sure.
no, the pumping mechanics work. It's just they won't teach
They're a
them
bit
to you
arcade.
until after you try
Until
to use
after
that
you
to get back
needed
to the skate
Yeah.
park.
Also, they're a bit arcadey, like,
They're
instead of
very
it being
arcade,
like
but I
in
really
real
like
life,
it. I
where
loved
it's,
getting huge air and flying
it's
through the air.
basically just like a speed boost
Okay,
button.
one, why did the game spawn me goofy?
Okay,
Come
I'm
on.
gonna say right
My
now-
stance is regular.
Okay,
Sorry, go
there
ahead.
is a glitch specific to this game where when you start missions or restart missions, it will spawn you Goofy. It is
Really?
in this game. It is a glitch. It's a known glitch. People complained about it back then. People still complain about it now.
It was in Rad Rat's
it was-
review.
It was not intentional. It was you're not going crazy. It does keep spawning you Goofy. It is a bug.
Okay.
Also,
never
I will
patched it.
say, I beat this game earlier this year as a goofy skater, and it would sometimes respawn me regular.
Yeah,
So-
it like respawns you is the opposite of your stance.
yeah. Your
It's just some
stance-
sort of glitch.
Your stance doesn't actually really change anything because, again, you know, the A and X buttons are X and square on a PlayStation
Yeah.
is, you know, to push with either of your feet. So you can push
Doesn't matter
regular,
which
you
one
can
you
push
push.
Mongo, either stance you want. The only thing that'll change is, like, nollies will turn into fakies. But it is kind of annoying, like, game, what is going on? And two, these, like, best trick things you'll see, usually the best points I can get is on the first trick where the game perfectly sets me up right and all the AI is also not in the fucking way.
You can also just bail to reset yourself, which is something
Right,
people
but
used to
like
do back in the
that's
day.
that's kind of again getting into like where I'm struggling with the whole flick it system or whatever, is that the best I could do is when the game sets me up perfectly the first time. And then
Yeah.
me trying to, you know, ride and get my own setup or whatever never gets me as good results.
Yeah, I don't think that's just you. Just in general, like in these events, the game will spawn you in the perfect spot, and whenever you do it, you're not going to be able to line yourself up as well as the game did, which is why one of the early strats when this game was new was just bail after you do the best trick, so you reset yourself. Like that was an issue with these events. Just bail as soon as you do the best thing. Bail. Intentionally bail, and then do it again to see if you can get a better score if you're not in the lead.
Wow.
Murder.
Oh my God, that guy!
Yeah, he
You
died.
killed him.
Yeah.
You killed the spot.
You snapped him.
But at least, like, at the start of the game, you know, it's not that the AI is designed to play, you know, with a middle amount of competence and you know, play better than them. It's that the AI is designed to just play even worse than you are
Yeah.
playing so that you can win these.
I do appreciate you for doing this because it's been so long since I've seen a playthrough of this game that wasn't min-maxed.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because whenever
Somebody who's
I play
already
this
got a
game,
lot of experience with it.
yeah, when I play this game, I'm min-maxing the shit out of these things, and I
doing-
know all the min-max strats. But like you have never played this before, so you don't know all the min-max strats. So it's really fascinating to see this game played, presumably the way I'm assuming they meant you to play this game.
Yeah.
Then one smaller thing is that pretty often, you know, again, since like your momentum is totally determined by your pushes, like a lot of times when the game sets you up for something, you know, like gives you a starting point, it's at that weird kind of distance where one big push does not feel like enough, or like you'll have to ride and slow down a bit before you actually get to that thing. But if you do two big pushes,
Then
like,
you don't have enough
won't
time
have
to
the
set
time to actually set up.
Yep, there it is. Oh,
And I regret to inform you that never goes away in the whole series.
yeah, no.
That's,
Oh, good.
I get that maybe that's to get you to really be able to set up your ollie and jump with just the one push, but it does kind of feel like, oh, I wish I could get to this a little faster.
Yeah.
And also, you just won't have enough speed to get across that gap. Or you have to really, really flick it.
But yeah, so that second one, that's where, yeah, again, at that first one where I was set up perfectly, I got some major trick thing, and then I just could not get anything going when it was, you know, totally in my control.
Because like
and I had
this,
to
there's
get
no way.
myself set
I
up.
wish this let you. Oh, never mind. You got that coming back. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
Because like I would usually just. There's no way to reset yourself without bailing in this, and bailing seems unintuitive. But like generally speaking, if there was a way to reset myself on here, it would be better. I guess part of the challenge of these is supposed to be that like
Yeah,
you
it's
have
supposed to be realistic, like you're
Yeah,
sessioning
because
the
in
spot,
real life,
best trick.
skaters don't reappear back up where they want. But I guess part of the
Although
challenge
when
is supposed to be realigning
skaters fall
yourself.
down in this game, they do just disappear.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they're dead.
Oh yeah, because you killed them. I don't know what it. Matt, maybe when you were playing this game, you always called it like this. But when we were kids, we would always take turns in this game, and like when you fell, we'd always call it "you die," and then you swap.
Because
When
your
you
guy
die, you
flops over
swap
like
the
he's
controller.
fucking dead.
Like because you just go limp.
And you know, people complained about that in this one. I remember reading online. They asked for Skate 2. They said, "Can you implement some sort of half bail system?" Which I don't think got in until Skate 3. Skate
No, they
3
did.
is when he finally stopped flopping over like he was fucking dead when he tripped.
In Skate 2, they did add like a really rudimentary runout system, but it was
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
yeah. If
you
you
would
jumped
pop
off
off
your
your
board,
board. If you hit something with your board only, and not with your body at all, you would just pop off your board and you
Yep,
would
I
go into
remember
your
that.
walking state.
And that is because people complained that your guy flopped over like he died.
You know, I do have to say,
Interesting.
one of the things I'm looking forward to when I finally get to Skate 3 is emulating anything that Helix Snake did.
Yeah.
Although I will say,
Classic.
this is maybe because I'm a hipster, but I always preferred the glitches in Skate 2 because they were harder and
I
had
preferred
funnier
the ones in
results.
Skate 1 because they were the hardest to pull off. I've got a glitch video. I will send you guys my
Okay,
glitch
yeah,
video. when this
because
is
I only
over.
know the craziness you could do in Skate 3. I don't
I
know.
will show you the shit you could do
Oh,
in
man,
Skate
I will
1
walk
because I
you
had
through
that
some shit
down
in
Okay,
Skate
what to
two.
say? I had one of these T-Mobile phones, not the one where the screen twists, but one where you could slide the screen over and it had a full keyboard under it. I had that back in like high school, and it was great.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Hell yeah. I remember fantasizing about having one of those when I was in like first grade, and then by the time it actually came time for me to have a phone, my first phone was an iPhone 5S, so...
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're young enough that, yeah.
What? I never noticed he just goes through the graphics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so like,
Whenever he does I never noticed that. I've never looked at this menu.
so like looking at the grind tricks again, what grind you do totally depends on what you do coming down into the grind, which is really cool. So like you could just hold up or down and just do a basic one, but like while in the air coming towards the rail, you can hit like you could push up and then rotate like to the left or right to do that. You know, like move your
That was
tail
really
or nose
cool.
over. And so like if you hit the rail with that, yeah, again, it feels really cool and it looks really cool, but that also again means you need to be really precise. You need to have not jumped just a little bit early to miss the rail or just a little late to go over it. You know?
I mean, that sounds like it's a game system designed to reward mastery,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? And that, I
Doing
mean,
a
that,
tail slide in this game is just fucking awesome. Doing
Yeah.
a kickback tail is one of my favorite real-life skateboarding tricks because of this game.
right.
Yeah, again, it's where like the camera that's at knee height and offset from you makes it hard to get on the rail, but once you're on the rail, it feels cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got freaking Danny Way here.
Danny
Frickin'
freaking
Way
Way.
to do
We
some
genuinely
vert
don't
skating.
remember what that's a fucking reference to.
Danny
Yeah.
mother flipping way, yo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, now we
Daniel
get
Way.
the tutorial.
You have to pretty much learn how to pump, or you can't skate transition. But once you get it down, you'll be launching huge airs before you know it. To prepare for a pump, you want to push up on the left stick as you approach a transition. Once you hit the transition, you want to release the left stick and stand up. Pumping is a huge part of riding bowls and half pipes, but you can also pump to get big air on any curved surface. If you need to get a little bit of extra speed on the streets, try pumping some tranny. It's definitely going to help. To do a Christ there, do a basic grab and then hold B. All right, now it's your turn to try.
Yeah, so like, honestly, yeah, this pumping, again, when you're kind of like doing it not in the tutorial, it's sort of like I forget the timing, but here in the tutorial where it tells you like exactly when you've done it right, you can see I'm getting huge air. And honestly, this kind of makes sense. Like, I've always sort of wondered, like, when you're going back and forth in a half pipe, do you like ollie like you do normally? How would the physics of that work? But it totally makes sense to just gain all your speed and whatever by, yeah, tucking in and untucking back out, and like, you still get huge air without having to ollie. So, I mean, you still can, but honestly in this game, it's kind of like when you're doing vert, trying to ollie, like, you need to find the right timing or whatever. So this pumping thing totally, like, intuitively makes sense to me in terms of, like, oh, how to get really big air out of quarter pipes and have it be, again, what real skaters have to do it in real life.
Yeah.
Funny, because to me, this harbors the biggest, like, unexplained mechanic in, like, the entire series. Throughout the entire series, you can always use the triggers to pump, and they never once explain that to you.
What?
You can use the triggers to pump.
What?
I'm learning that for the first time.
Yep, you can.
You can
and
grab
I never used
because
it because
if you like just grab the triggers on the ground, you grab your board and thus tuck in. And if you release it at the right time, then you pump.
Okay, oh my god, that's gonna be revolutionary to me because, yeah, trying to do that, pumping with the left stick, while also trying to set up things with the right stick for jumping or going into the more complex grabs, like, it does start to become a little too much for my brain to follow.
Yep.
Interesting, because I never used
works
it.
So all
because
I need to
found
do is just
sticks
hit down
easier.
the triggers, you know, while on the flat, and then release them when I'm going up the ramp.
Yep, and when they teach you to do it in Skate 2, they tell you to use the left stick, and in the Skate 3 tutorial section where they teach you to pump, they tell you to use the left stick.
Bitch,
But
what the
whole
fuck?
time, the whole time you can use your triggers if you want.
And I believe in the manual it says you can use your triggers, but like I said, I never used the triggers, even though I knew you
Who
could.
looks at the manuals anymore? It's a game that released in 2007.
I'm just saying. I think in the manual it
Oh
does. Jesus!
Oh my Jesus Christ!
It might not
so
tell you.
much more aggressive
But
than I was expecting.
I don't remember the game telling me in game I could do. Oh my fucking god!
We gotta get out of the road.
He came back to finish the job.
He saw you respawn and he was like, "What the fuck? I thought I killed him."
I'm coming back, and I'm coming back pissed.
No skaters in my
Okay.
neighborhood.
So yeah, we need to go down to the skate shop now. We could either teleport or, like, you know, the first time we go into an area, I want to ride there. You know, I want to show you what it's like going through this world. Because this world's actually pretty big. I mean, they've done stuff where, you know, everything is much bigger than it would be in person.
Dude, man, this is just
that
bringing
guy's-
back memories of me trying to traverse the world and
that
go
guy
anywhere.
won't respawn. That guy's not going to respawn.
Yeah. I'm glad you at least figured out that you could teleport to stuff on like a certain rodent out
Yeah,
there who had
certain
no idea you
rodent
could do
of,
that and never learned
radical
and beat
variety.
the entire game complaining that he couldn't get where you wanted to go.
I
Guys, we
commented
really
that
shouldn't
on his
talk
skate.
shit on Karina like this.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Karina.
Sorry, Karina.
Hey, so somebody mentioned manuals, like game manuals, not manuals you do in the game.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, I was exaggerating.
reading game
booklets.
manuals and booklets. Yeah, and I just had a flashback to a part of my life that, oh, that was beautiful.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to say this real
hit the
quick.
edge.
I was on a flight, and for some reason, my dad told me to bring something to do on the flight. And for some reason, the thing I brought with me was the game manual for Halo 2. And I was reading it on the flight. And then someone asked me what I was reading, and then I explained in detail what the brute shot was and how it worked.
Nice.
To a stranger on a plane
A landmark spot right here.
who almost
God,
certainly
Perez is
did
so
not want to
scary.
know any of that detail.
That
Perez is
reminds
so
me of the
scary.
time I
I
was
hate this
explaining about how I was explaining to my dad's friend at their child's basketball game because my little sister and their little sister or their child were on the same team, and I was explaining to them at this basketball game about how the EA NHL series just totally ripped off the 2K NHL series in the fact that you could fucking break the glass now with a slap shot, which you could be doing in the 2K on the PS2.
This stairwell right here, this area right here is one of the few places where it's like, there's ramps, but you can't fucking see them unless you're looking at the right spot. You might be like, how the fuck do I get back up those? On the side, there's these tiny fucking narrow ramps that are impossible to see that lead you back up there.
Yeah.
I swear, it's like so many things where it's like, I can't tell if they designed this world with walking in mind. I feel like there's always paths. Jesus! There's always paths to get back up to where you want to go, but they're always so far out of the way, I wonder how late in development they came in.
Yeah.
You know, like if they actually intended you to have to use these tiny little fucking ramps all over the place that are impossible to see to get around, or if like you were supposed to be able to walk.
But
Music's gone.
I mean, that was a pretty long ride just to get there.
Hey, saw your photo in the skateboard mag.
Yeah, that's a sick photo.
Hey, this is Eric. He rides for the shop.
What's up?
Hey, we're having a little demo later today. It's our annual Jubba Jubba Jingle Jam to commemorate the... Hey, what does that commemorate again?
I don't know. The last time you landed a kickflip?
Ouch. Yeah. Well, if you want to skate in it, come and check it out. Oh, hey, there's some shop t-shirts over there. You can grab one if you want.
I kind of liked them. Like,
I thought that was pushing pushing my like of the aesthetic a little bit.
All the cutscenes are, all the, like, brand cutscenes or whatever are all like that, and I considering it's not consistently like that, I think they might have just run out of time.
You know what?
Yeah,
I'm
The rest of
fond
the
of them.
cutscenes.
I'll say that. I'm fond of them.
I hated them. I skipped them all when I hated
Well,
it.
yeah.
I just skipped them.
Well, how else are you supposed to know that? I don't know. I
Eric
liked
rides
them.
for the shop.
I liked them. They're just kind of cool. Kinda
You know,
cool.
your buddy
maybe
Eric.
Maybe it was a little too much, but it was kind of cool. Yeah, so it's time for the Jubba Jubba Jingle Jam, which is basically just
I
going to
love
be
this
another trick
announcer.
contest.
Yeah. This is also...
I love the announcer.
So yeah,
guy. He's
I
great.
guess knowing that now, I will intentionally maybe do more riding in between areas so that Matt has humorous moments to look at. Yeah, no, the res is really scary, especially not knowing a lot of the ways you're supposed to slow down. Because yeah, the res is designed like San Francisco hills, you know?
Yep, it's awesome. I love it. It was very intimidating when I was new to the game, but it was one of my favorite places after a while because I used to make bail montages, and the res is such a good place to get.
I want to
bails.
see all your montages, dude.
Yeah.
I want a montage of your montages.
I'm gonna blow your fucking
Best
mind
of
with the
Matt
shit I was
Rocks
able to do in
101,
this game.
10 plus years after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
show you a video when we're done here that is gonna blow your mind because it has the only no hands backflip I was ever able to pull off in this game.
Okay, oh my god. I've seen the loading tip where there are backflips and front flips.
Yep.
I've tried initiating them. I
not-
got halfway through one
You're not in the right
once,
spot to do them.
But otherwise it's like
They're late game.
more shit where you do it with the thumbsticks, and I'm like, the thumbsticks are already how you do grabs and shit.
you're not
How the
gonna-
fuck do I flip?
Where you're at in the game right now, in the game world and the story and progression, you're not gonna have access to the parts that let you really do backflips.
Okay.
So
How
don't
do
even
you
bother.
just
You're
even
not
come
gonna do
back
them.
down in these quarter pipes? Like I
was not a
had
quarter
it
pipe.
in that sewer. I had it in that
Oh.
sewer off the skate park.
That's not a
but
quarter
now-
pipe.
Yeah, these are mini ramps. These are not
These
meant
are-
for you
these
to
are just-
come
you go
straight
up
back
them.
down in them. You're supposed to do that with them. That's how you're supposed to ride them. You're supposed
Well,
Gotta
to...
again,
say-
any specific one of those looks cool, but
I am so of all the things I've seen in this game, even the glitches, the thing I maybe love most is seeing just in the distance these AIs just bumbling and dying.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
you're not
it's-
even
it's
touching
great.
them. You're not even in the same time zone as them, and they're just like, oh god! Oh. And like,
Now they bail a lot.
Skateboarding is hard.
I don't know why. I think they bail a lot in the beginning to make it easier, but considering they bail throughout the entire rest of the game, maybe I just
Throughout the
they're just
entire rest of the
programmed to
series, they're
bail. I
always
think
like
they
this.
they were literally created to fail.
yeah, again, since you can't do some 10x combo worth 100,000 points, the AI has to be designed to play worse than you.
Yeah.
is he? Are
That's
they
time.
bailing to live or living to bail?
Yes.
Yes.
That was actually my town's motto.
So,
back in
what's
2007.
what's the world record on that Jubba Jubba Jingle Jam? Is there someone out there with 100,000 points or something?
for sure.
Probably close to like
guarantee you.
50,000.
This isn't even mocking. I kind of want to know. Like,
Yeah, I'm curious too.
If you can really work your multiplier in a vert contest, you can get some insane scores. Like I'll say for the first contest in Skate 3, the first vert contest, I can pretty regularly get like 30,000 points. And I'm someone who is not the best, but have been playing this game for 10
all right,
years.
so now we're being introduced to filming a part, or at least being introduced to incorporating it more into the game, where you'll see, like, on the right bumper, or again, it'd be R1, where sometimes they'll be like, hey, you need to do a filming thing, and you could start it anywhere, like, in the gaming world. I chose to start it where I spawned just to, like, try and do it there, but I could have ridden around and found a better spot to really get points at. So yeah, just film some for the skate shop, and once again, just the first time I was just not gonna get anything really going. But the second time will be better.
Yeah. You're gonna
It's
get
feast or
smoothing.
famine, kind of. Either you can land some good things and start getting your multiplier, and that's when you'll really get a lot of points, or you just can't get anything going and you won't get a lot of points.
Yeah.
There's
Because
no,
you're
like,
getting-
oh, I almost got it, you know?
Yeah. Because you're getting, like, 50 points per basic trick, like, you really need to work those flip-ins, flip-outs, and get that multiplier going.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
So I finally got a chance to see all this amazing footage I've been hearing about. I mean, it needs to be tightened up, but...
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, put him in the shop video.
Good idea. His part can replace yours. What? Come on, man.
Hey, don't worry. But yeah, I think we can find a spot for this stuff. Congratulations. Just got your first video part.
Oh,
That's
sheesh,
your
y'all.
first video part, man.
And now you've unlocked a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, that's why we got to this point for the end of the second video, because, yeah, now that we're riding for the skate shop, this is where, like, a lot of challenges open up across the entire world. Now we need to, yeah, go to those symbols and find some specific area photo shoots, or, you know, a lot of film parts will show up if we hit the right bumper again. Or again, you can do those anywhere, but the requirements will sometimes definitely push you towards finding the best spot to do them. Like, you know, do a total of 1080 degrees rotation across your part. And so it's like, huh, maybe I should find some ramps, you know?
Yeah. Find a vert ball.
But yeah, so... I mean, sure, there's still little mini areas locked off, but we can go to all the main parts of the city now. And you saw on that, you know, back screen with the map kind of how many of those challenges there are left to do. You obviously don't need to do all of them to continue on, but if it's like, hey, I really want to do all the photos, you know,
Sorry.
it's like, yeah.
I'm imagining what it would be like for that taxi, like, slows to a stop because he's like, I don't want to hit this guy. He's on the road, and then he, like, comes up and bashes into the fucking car. Hey, look!
It's true, it's fraud.
Yeah, you hit me with my car, with your
This
car!
game really is just Saints Row 2.
Yeah, it's just Saints Row 2. By the way, I will be keeping my eyes peeled for that fucking car that hit you twice.
Oh,
Let's see it
it'll show up
again.
There? No, that wasn't.
No, that wasn't them. That wasn't them.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll keep my eyes peeled in the future parts.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So we got the whole world in our hands. The world of San Vanalona. Next time on Skate.